first of all, it's obviously a crucial part of the season, but just tell me your thoughts heading into this game.
Yeah, it's an important game for us, as are the next four, and we need to get a result. We need to make sure we do the right things, and it's important that we stick to our game plan and we focus on what we need to do. And what we need to do is get a result.
How vital is a win, do you think, in terms of your hopes of surviving?
I think it's massive. I think that's the next two games, especially at home, they're massive for us. That we need to get a result. So I think it's important for us to focus on the task ahead.
Is there still a belief that you can do this and you can stay in the Premiership?
Yeah, look, there's always been that belief within the dressing room, and it's just about staying together and making sure that we can stay focused and getting the results. And
you've been scoring some important goals. You'll be hoping that you can do that again in the next couple of games coming up. Yeah,
look, as a striker for me, it's about being in the right positions and scoring goals. It's my job, but that's down to my teammates finding me and playing the ball in the right positions, which they're doing. So it's just down to us to keep doing that.
What's the manager said to the players this week in terms of how to approach this game?
Yeah, look, I think he's been important on what he's saying is we just take the next four games a game at a time and go and do what we need to do to go win the game and focus on what we need to do within training.
Thank you.
How are you personally finding the pressure of the relegation battle, and what is that like as a team to try and deal with that and keep your focus on the game?
Yeah, look, I think the pressure's dealt with within the dressing room. I think it's one of the things that we just, as I said, we need to take a game at a time, and we need to focus on the task ahead, and we just need to make sure that when we go into the game on Saturday that we're fully focused and we're ready to do what we need to do.
Obviously been a difficult season for the club, but since coming in the summer you personally have had that successful time. Just how have you found your first season in the Premiership?
Yeah, look, I've really enjoyed it. It's given me the confidence to be able to play within the league and play against top players and players with better physicality in me. It gives you that wee bit of confidence that you can go and do it. So it's been a good season for me, but the most important thing is the next four games for us.
And I suppose, what have you picked up from the other strikers at the club? Obviously, quite different attributes between all of you. Just what have you picked up from their game?
Yeah, look, there's four very different strikers at the club. You've got me, Nicky, Adama, you've got Uchi that's just come back. So it's been good for me, especially when I first came in. Nicky's always been really good with me. He's given me points and tips and good pointers with his experience. So it's been really good for me to learn off such an experienced player.
Thank you very much.
The delivery from Josh McPake on last week was just sublime. You must dream of crosses like that.
Yeah, look, as a striker, you get the feel of being in the right positions and knowing your players when you train week in, week out with them. And I know what Josh's attributes are, and I know what he can do, and I know where he's got to put the ball. So for me, it's being in the right positions to score.
Do you feel? I know that perhaps you're still sore a bit about the one that got away against Celtic, but do you feel you're on a kind of another run now?
Yeah, look, it's one of the things as a striker that you go through spells. You don't score goals, you score goals, you score a lot of goals, but it's one of the ones where you just can't get frustrated, and when you're on the runs, you've got to stay focused and try keeping the goal.
That Celtic one must have hurt though.
Yeah, look, it was devastating at the time, but you can understand why the referees just give a foul. So it's one of the ones that you can't dwell on. You've just got to move on.
The fact is, as you said, you've got Nicky and Uchi who are massive experience. You've got yourself and Adama, and I suppose Benji as well, who are younger and less experienced. Can you draw on that, depending on who you're kind of being partnered with?
Yeah, look, it's one of the things, depending on who you're playing with and what situations you find yourself in training. It's one of the ones that the older boys, as in for example Nicky and Uchi, can give you that experience and they give you pointers, and it's a good thing for me to take on as a young striker, because they've been up here, they've played a lot of games in Scotland, so they know what the league's all about.
A lot of your goals this season have sort of been, like I say, crosses in from your teammates and first-time finishes. Is that something that you've had to adapt, maybe because you've got less time at the top level as opposed to when you're playing for Hearts B or in League One?
I think it just comes down to the instinct to be in the right position. I agree. You've got less time to think, and you've just got to make sure you put the chances away. But it's one of the ones where it just really comes down to instinct and being in the right positions.
And then also you're under 21s manager at international level, so obviously a Saints connection there. How do you find working with Tommy Wright, and do you guys ever talk about Saints? Or?
Yeah, Tommy keeps in contact with me regularly. He's really good to work with when you go away. He's obviously, as people know, he's a wee bit more old school than more modern managers, but he knows how to get the best out of that 21 script. So yeah, he's really good with me, and he has been so far. So yeah.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Cheers. Thank you.